All right. Um, you are. You said that she did it. You didn't say witnesses said she did it. You didn't say the police said she did it, as if that wasn't subject to some scrutiny. You said she did. And I'll scroll it back up just to make sure. Um, Actually, she did assault him, lol. You reach conclusions. Of course, once again, pots and kettles, Jay. Sorry, okay? But it is. Now, anytime you are ready to talk about the police, the actual problems of our justice system in a way that is critical and reasonable, I'm willing to do that. But I just don't know what I can say to you because you aren't in a place where you are reasonable on the subject. You know, I already brought up, again, I'll say it again, I take the cop's side all the time. Not this time. It's clear you're unable to be reasonable with statements like, I believe the cop is most likely lying. I do, but it doesn't matter. What if I'm wrong? Emphasis on the phrase most likely, because I said, even if he's not lying, so what? So what? She was not a threat to him, so I don't care. So get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. If the cop is lying, provide evidence that suggests that. I don't need to, because the only evidence we actually have right now is her being body slammed. So the burden of proof is not on me. A woman is being body slammed that posed no threat to the cop, and we have about I think like 7 seconds in the video before he body slams her. So nothing could have happened before that would have posed to him a threat. So fucking nonsense. Get an education. I don't think education is an issue here. There's nothing I could have learned in high school or college that would have been relevant, and or we're both guessing. All right, but judging by what we see, I have not heard you make the point that this girl's a threat to him. Get some sense. Again, now it's what do they call it? Argumentum ad ridiculum. Get some sense in assuming the answer. The assumption being that if I had some sense, I would take your side, and then get back to me. Until then, free to continue your silly cop hating nonsense. Again, I don't hate cops. Sorry, I don't. I'm very suspicious of cops. They're trained to lie. They are trained to lie. Doesn't mean I hate them in the traditional sense of the word hate. I don't see a cop immediately and think, God, I wish somebody would kill that motherfucker. I don't. You know, cops are trained to lie. They are allowed to and trained to lie to you. You are prosecuted in court for lying to them. That dichotomy is a problem. When your job trains you to lie, yeah. And if you don't know that you should know that already. I'm sure you know that. I'm going to take it without getting into that. I'm just going to assume that you know that cops lie. All right. I don't know if I want to get into what your friends contributed because none of them did. She got what she deserved. Talk about people assuming shit. Let the cops do their job. I don't believe that was the cop's job. Again, this is where I'll get like assumptions on the law, but I don't think that body slamming somebody face down who is not posing a threat is the cop's job. I've not read their rule book, so don't interfere. Um, Obey what they tell you. Okay, now I'm going to get all legal. You don't always have to obey what the cop tells you. This is something cop apologists say all the time. If a cop demands something of you that is not within your that is outside of his authority, it is okay to disobey the cop. Now, you don't hear the cop saying anything in this video, so anything she didn't obey is irrelevant. But this idea that if the cops tell you to do something, you have to do it. Jay, I know this is Scott here talking, but you show me the law that that's the case. There are specific things the cop is allowed to tell you to do that you have to do. Very specific things, but not everything. Famous example of this, stop recording. Well, they tried real hard, police unions across the country, to make it illegal to record a cop and to stop recording when the cop says so. However, fortunately, our courts have seen the better, and you are allowed to record a cop. They still try it. A video came out about a month ago with a cop trying to force somebody. This is getting a little long, and I got to go to work soon, so I'm going to fly through this. I think I've made my point. Nothing in the vid shows her doing anything wrong. It doesn't. Video starts with his hands on her. Again, cop apologists will always take the civilian got what they deserved, regardless of the circumstance. They do. There's just a certain kind of person that I've just never heard, the kind of person that, reads Blue Lives Matter. I've never heard ever say, yeah, the cop was was wrong this time. Um, all right. He says, I'm far from a cop apologist. Then why did you start with the girl got what she deserved when you didn't see what happened before the video? I'm the exact opposite. Really? I gotta see some examples after that one, Scotty. All right. But play the video again. She went to shove him. No. I showed it real slow. She didn't. And they admit that wasn't in the video. So ink blot test, Scott. Anyway, I'm talking to Jay here. I watched it 5 times. I gotta read them all. God, this is getting long, but I gotta read my shit or else it could be said that okay, I could be accused of skipping over something important. So you could specify where you saw it, even if the girl who weighs less than a flat screen TV did shove him. This sauce monkey, I know, used the same insult twice, bashed her face into the concrete from 5 feet in the air. This was not needed to subdue her. That was nothing short of I'll show you ego trip. Watched it again. The only thing is shoving his overpaid ass hat with his grand jury police union protection that he is hiding behind. Hopefully, that won't be enough to protect this brave woman-beating knight when she rightly sues his sorry ass. Yeah, I know she'll sue him. I heard the interview. I'm pretty confident she's gonna. Also, no, there's no limit. I had to explain what I already explained. Just because a cop tells you to do something, there's a limit to what he's allowed to tell you what to do and what you have to obey. Here we go. Ovid doesn't seem to realize that these videos almost always start during the incident. No. In fact, I think I said that. Not before, at the beginning of it. Again, I don't... What could have possibly happened to justify body slamming her? Before the video started, she assaulted an employee of the bar and was asked to leave. That has no relevance whatsoever. First of all, the cop was not there when she assaulted an employee at the bar, so he's taking somebody's word at it. She's innocent of that until proven guilty. If somebody's going to press charges, they could have pressed charges, which last I read, they're not. There's no bouncer. It was a bouncer, by the way. Okay, I think you said employee of the bar rather than bouncer for a reason. Bouncers lie about assaults all the time. They're at least as bad as cops. When she was asked to leave, she assaulted a police, but maybe he's telling the truth. Why isn't he pressing charges? Then she assaulted a police officer. Again, assumptions. You keep accusing me of assuming too much. After she assaulted the police officer, the video begins showing the officer trying to take her into custody and resisting, forcing him to take her down and controlled and so forth. Again, all no, he was not forced to body slam her. I've already brought up other things he could have done. Ovid seems to be a criminal apologist. Again, she's innocent until proven guilty. She is not a criminal until she's declared one in the court of law. She certainly didn't do anything illegal in the video. Who thinks that police officers are not protected by OSHA regulations? Police unions are the most powerful unions in the country. So forget about OSHA. And they are the only ones who, in order to get charges put against them have to go through a grand jury first. And they should subject themselves to assaults. Nope. In fact, I have said that they should not. I have been very clear about this, that if a cop assaults, if a cop is assaulted, then he has every right to defend himself, just like any other man. I don't care if it's a cop. If anyone is assaulted, they have a right to defend themselves by any means necessary. There's provided that the person poses a threat. It is, if I am assaulted by Mike Tyson, dating myself here, if I'm assaulted by Mike Tyson and I do something crazy and violent as hell, and by the way, let's think back to Rodney King for a second, because there's nuance involved with how a cop responds to assault. Their excuse for Rodney King was how much he weighed, how big he was, all right? That was the excuse they made as to why they wailed on him. In this case, they couldn't have a stringier person, okay? And by the way, even in the case where a cop is assaulted by a big guy, if someone's on the floor and you start and he starts bashing the person's face when he should be cuffing them. There's nuance, a lot of nuance. There's no nuance when it's a stringy girl, unless she's holding a weapon. Sorry. Wearing heels. And I have to keep mentioning wearing heels because somebody's pretty much, there's nothing they can do when they're wearing heels. You can knock them over so easy. I said, why don't you tell every cop that you come in contact with, especially if they're trying to take you into custody? I've been taken into custody, actually. I'm not going to tell you, much about that, except, I just told them, okay, take me into custody. And I said, I did I did what I'm supposed to do. I said, am I under arrest? And they didn't want to answer. And I said, you have to tell me. And then they said, okay. I says, okay, well, I'm not talking to you. Take me to jail. And that was it. However, so I've been taken into custody. I don't have again, tell that to every cop. I don't talk to cops. I don't. There's and I do have legal counsel on that. I did have a lawyer tell me point blank because I had a very short conversation with the cop that fortunately didn't harm me. But it could have, according to my lawyer, and she had said, you never talk to a cop. There's no reason to. So I will not be telling anything to any cop. Later, after they arrest you for whatever crime you've committed, make sure to tell the judge all about how the police don't listen to you and resisting them and stepping outside of their authority. If they do, I will. Or if I think they did, I will. Because the fact that the judge might have a bias towards the cop, and credentials are irrelevant if you're defending yourself in court. And by the way, I won't be doing a lot of convincing the court. My lawyer will be doing that. Okay. And where's my appeal to emotion? I got emotional. That's not the same thing as an appeal to emotion. I want to spend time on that, but this video is getting too long of your accusation of this logical fallacy that I did not commit. You show me where I committed this logical fallacy, appeal to emotion. I believe I already addressed the off chance that this terrifying monster of a 110-pound woman in heels, in fact, did the off chance that she did it, and still doesn't justify slamming her face into the ground. I hate repeating myself, Jay. I do, because this video is a lot longer because I have to repeat myself. Just because no proof that she did such a thing, only someone's word, even if that were the case. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to end the video. This is getting long. It's 35 minutes long. I've